Welcome to Lexi Tutors, where we'll be taking advanced level biology class. And for a starter today, we'll be considering the topic Introduction to Biology. Introduction to Biology, and so when we hear the word biology, what comes to mind? The word biology consists of two Greek words, and these two Greek words are, we have bio and logos. So the word bio means life, while the word logos means study. So literally, biology is the study of life. So for a definition, we have that biology is a natural science. When we talk about natural science, these are sciences that studies the phenomenon and the law of the world, or whichever one. So, and of these natural sciences, we have physics, we have chemistry, we have biology itself, and then we have astronomy, and so on and so forth. So, biology is a natural science concerned with the study of life and living things. That is, biology is a science that deals with the study of living things and the way of their life. So, also, then now, modern biology is a vast field composed of many specialized disciplines. That is, biology is a very wide course, and it has so many disciplines, so many fields in it that all together studies living things. Now, and all of these studies together, they study the structure, the function, the growth, distribution, evolution, and other features of living organisms. That is, every branches of biology are dealing with the study of the structure, the function, growth, distribution, evolution, and other features of living organisms. So altogether, they are all based on these principles. Now, let's look at some fields in biology, some fields of study in biology. And the first field is what we call zoology. And zoology is a branch of biology that deals with the study of animal. That is, the study of animal kingdom, their distribution, their classification, and so on and so forth. Everything about animals. And then another aspect of biology, another branch of biology is botany. And botany, just like the opposite of zoology, botany is a branch of biology that deals with the study of the plant kingdom, deals with the study of plants, the classification of plants, the structure, the everything, just everything about plants. And then another field in biology is microbiology. So microbiology, from the word micro, that is very little, or something that cannot be seen with the naked eye. So the word microbiology means the study of small organisms such as viruses, bacteria, microscopic algae, and fungi, and even some protozoans. So microbiology is a branch of biology that deals with very tiny microorganisms that cannot be seen with naked eye unless through the aid of a microscope. And then another field in biology is molecular biology that deals with the study of the molecules that makes up every living thing. That is, molecules or chemical materials that are found in living things. And I tell you that this branch of biology is a fast developing branch, because these days this is a branch in biology that researchers are going into of recent. So it's a very interesting branch of biology. And then another branch of biology is cytology. Cytology, from the word cyto, which means cell, and logos, that means study. So cytology is the study of cell in relationship with its function and its structure. Then another branch is morphology. Morphology, which deals with the study of the structure and the form of living things. So under morphology, we have two types of morphology. We have the internal morphology and then the external morphology. The internal morphology studies the internal makeup, that is the structural, the organs, everything that makes up a living organism, while the external morphology deals with the color, the size, all external characteristics that can be seen externally, those characteristics that can be seen externally in a living organism. So that is what external morphology is all about. So, and then we have another branch which is embryology. Embryology, with the study of embryo, right from the point of zygote up to when it's developed to an individual organism. That is from the point of fertilization up to the point of delivery of the conceptus. And then another branch of biology is taxonomy. Taxonomy, this deals with the identification, the description, nomenclature, and classification of living organisms. And under this taxonomy is where we have the hierarchy of classification, where we have our kingdom, the phylum, so. So this is a branch of biology that deals with the classification of living organisms, those that are close related and those that are not related. So we have the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and other kingdoms. Then another branch of biology is genetics. Genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of the transmission of hereditary material from parents to the offspring. That is how hereditary materials, how characteristics from the parents is being transferred to the offspring. And then lastly for now, another branch of biology is evolution, which deals with the process of formation of a new organism from a previously existing form of that same organism. So to continue with, now, despite the broad scope of biology, there are certain general and unifying principles that govern the study in biology, that governs all study in biology. And these principles, these concepts are that the cell is the basic unit of life. Now, if you have been taking biology before now, I don't think you should be familiar with this by now, that the cell is the basic unit, the basic structural and functional unit of life is the cell. That is, every living organism are made up of a very simple component, the simplest component, which are termed as cells. And then genes, which consist of the DNA and RNA, are the basic unit of heredity. So this is the aspect of genetics, telling us that the genes which are found in individual organisms are the ones that are responsible for the transmission of heredity from the parent to the offspring. That is, transmission of characteristics from the parent to the offspring are based on the genes, which consist of the DNA and the RNA. And then evolution accounts for the unity and diversity seen among living organisms. Just like we have mentioned evolution as a branch of biology. Now, evolution is what tells us the relationship between some set of living organisms and also the differences between them. So that's where we have some closely related species of animals or organisms, and then we have those ones that they are farther apart, like they are not so related. And then all organisms survive by consuming and transforming energy. That is, there is no living organism that in one way or the other does not consume energy. The means of consuming the energy might differ in different organisms, but it is certain that every living organism must consume energy, must make use of energy in order to continue living, in order to continue surviving. And then lastly, all organisms maintain a stable internal environment, which we call homeostasis. That is, they balance their internal body environment. They maintain a stable body environment so that they can keep on living and performing their daily activities. So now this brings us to our next question, which is what is life? What is life? So this question is so very difficult to answer, but according to biologists, those are people that study biology, they define life as any characteristic that distinguish a living thing from a non-living thing is said to be life. So any characteristic at all that differentiates or distinguishes a living thing from a non-living thing is termed as life. So what are these characteristics that we'll find in an organism that will make us to know that, okay, oh, it's a living thing and this one is not a living thing? So some of those characteristics are here. They are highly organized. That is, the body of every living organism is highly organized. We have some that are on the cellular level. That is, what they have as their function, the functional part of their body are just cells. And then we have those that are on the tissue level. That is, aggregation of cells performing the same function and of the same origin, coming together to form tissue. So, in short, the body of living organisms are so well organized. The body is very well organized into particular pattern. And then response to stimuli, that is ability to respond to stimuli, to respond to external change, a change within the environment and also within the body of the organism. That is, for example, as a living thing, when you touch a living thing, there should be a response from that living thing. So a response to touch. And also in plants, for example, we can see response to sunlight. That is, the kind of when the sun is set at a particular side, they kind of move or tend to bend towards that side of the sunlight. So that's the kind of response to light stimulus. Then reproduction, and this is a characteristic that makes sure that life keep on existing on Earth. So every living organism, every living thing must be able to reproduce so as to keep on living on Earth, because once there is no more reproduction in a particular species of animal or in a particular group of animal, then those set of animals or those group of animals are the verge of going into extinction, because their race will be cut short since there is no production of a new offspring. So reproduction is not just all about the production of an offspring of the self-same species, that is the kind of that the ability of a living thing to produce its own type again, so as to continue its race. Then growth and development. So after reproduction, after the offspring has been given birth to, it is expected to grow, that is to increase in size and subsequently also producing another offspring. So growth and development are guided by the genes. That is, it is the genes that produce certain instructions, and these instructions guide the direction and the pattern of growth in those organisms. That is, it is the information coded by the DNA and the RNA of that organism that will tell how or the pattern of growth in that organism. And then regulation, that is the regulation of internal environment, that is some chemicals, the energy consumption, energy utilization, and so on and so forth. Then homeostasis, balancing the internal environment, making sure that the internal environment is at a stable level. And example of such parameters that should be balanced in the body of a living organism, we have temperature. The body of a living organism should be at a particular temperature. The temperature should be maintained at a constant level. And then we have pH level, that is the acidity and the alkalinity of the body system should be at a particular level. That is all about what homeostasis is, just balancing the internal, making sure that the internal environment is at a stable level, at a steady state rather. Then energy processing, that is consuming energy and then making use of the energy to perform their daily activities. So a living thing must be able to produce or to generate energy for its body so that it can perform its daily activities. Now, then we have levels of organization, just like we have a characteristics here that says highly organized, that is, there is organization in the body of every living thing. So we have the levels of organizations that we can have in every living thing. Now the first level is the chemical level. The chemical level where we have molecules, chemical or molecular level, where we have the molecules the organic materials that come together to form certain structures, certain organelles that subsequently forms the cell. So from the chemical level, we have different chemicals. Such chemicals, we have the micromolecules, we have the macromolecules. So we have the organic materials, we have the inorganic. So example of the organic materials, we have materials such as carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have lipids, we have enzymes, we have nucleic acid, and then inorganic we have such as water, we have sodium, we have potassium, we have chloride, and so on and so forth. Then cellular level. So when these molecules combine, they form essential materials that are needed to form or to make a cell function. And then we come to the cellular level, which is referred to as the basic unit of life, the basic structural and functional unit of life. That is, a cell on its own is capable of carrying out variety of functions. That is why we have some some organisms that are unicellular. That is, they contain just a single cell. These animals are made up of just a single cell, and because a cell on its own can perform variety of functions. For example, a cell on its own can respirate. We have cellular respiration. We have the cell on its own can carry out metabolism, that is, generates energy for itself. The cell on its own can excrete. So different functions can be carried out by the cell. And then from the cell, from cellular level, we have aggregation of cells from the same origin and also performing the same function to form what we call tissue. So when cells that are performing the same function and are of the same origin, when they come together, they form what we call the tissue. And we have 4 basic tissues in the body. We have the epithelial tissue, we have the connective tissue, we have the muscle tissue, and then we have the nervous tissue. So all these 4 tissues are the basic tissues in the body that then forms the next level of organization, which is the organ level. So at least each organ in the body are made up of either 3 or all the 4 tissues in the body. For example, in the skin, we have the superficial layer of the skin. We have on the surface of the skin, we have the epithelial tissue. We have the epithelium on the skin, and then underneath it we have the connective tissue. Then after which we now have the muscle tissue, and then inside of these tissues as well, we have the innervations, the nerves. So those are the nervous tissue. So the skin on its own is made of up to like 3 tissues. Then next we have the organ level. So we have different organs in the body, and these organs perform different functions. They perform different functions, and then these organs, we now have some organs that perform similar functions, or they are directed towards performing the same functions. Then come together to form the system level of organization. That is the organ system level of organization, where we have organs coming together to form system, to form a particular system. And of such system we have the nervous system, we have the digestive system, we have the respiratory system, we have the excretory system, we have the urinary system, reproductive system, and so on and so forth. And mind you, let me say that now we have so many organs in the body, such as the heart is an organ, the liver is an organ, the lungs is an organ, the stomach is an organ. Now, there are some organs that shares more than one system. That is, they can be found in 2 systems. Now, for example, now let me say that the heart is known in one major system, which is the cardiovascular system or the transport system. And then the lungs also is known for one major system, which is the respiratory system. But there are some organs in the body that have a part in one system and a part in another system. For example, we have organs such as the pancreas, and the pancreas functions in 2 systems, which are the digestive system and the endocrine system. In the digestive system, the pancreas secretes pancreatic juice that aids in the digestion of the food we eat. And then we have in the endocrine system, the pancreas secretes it has a part called the islet of Langerhans, which secretes some hormones. And of those hormones, we have insulin, we have glucagon, and so on and so forth. So, and lastly, the last level of organization, we have the individual or the organismic level, where we have when we have individual organism. So collection of systems, different systems in the body forms an organism. So this is the last level of organization. And for our study, as we continue our class, we are going to start exploring all these levels of organization. We start from the chemical level, look at what those molecules are that forms the cells, and then we look at the cell, the structure, the function of the cell, and then we look at the tissues of the body. Then we take both the organ and the organ system level together. So as we're looking at each system in the body, we will describe each organ under the system. And then lastly, we'll go to the individual or organismic level, where we are going to talk about diversity. That is diversity of living things, where we have different kingdoms. We have 5 major kingdoms: the kingdom Monera, the kingdom Protista, the kingdom Fungi, the kingdom Plantae, and then the kingdom Animalia. So these 5 kingdoms, we are going to look at them, and so this is going to form the major part of our study in biology, in advanced biology. And also, to let you know, we are going to be looking at three basic parts under the branches of biology. We look at zoology, that is animal. Then we look at botany, and then microbiology. So these are the 3 basic branches that we are going to be limiting our studies to. So all our studies are going to be on these 3 major branches. So as we are taking each system for the animals, we look at that same system for the plants, and then finally we then go to the microorganisms, the tiny organisms that cannot be seen with our naked eye. So with this, we have come to the end of our class today, and don't forget to subscribe and like our page so that you can get notification of subsequent videos that will be coming on. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching.